over the place. In fact, the road in front of us, I'm looking up the road, this would be to our south. I'm not sure that we can get any further to the south. There's so much debris in front of us right now as we get closer into the town of West. I think the road looks to be impassable. very similar, again, to what we've seen after a major tornado. There is that much damage, and it is not just in a path like we usually see with these big storms and tornadoes. It is very widespread. It's all the houses in the area, not just a very small swath of a few hundred yards, but widespread as far as you can see. And it looks like, this fire, we don't see a line of fire or anything that's burning from this plant. This just happens to be a home that's burned down. We can't tell if it's because of something that happened when the home was damaged in the blast, but it's definitely gone right now. And a lot of other people, even if they don't have a fire, their homes are destroyed tonight, Karen.
Yeah, Jason, we're hearing not just houses, but also a nursing home. It's lost its roof completely. We understand people might have been trapped in there, and also an apartment complex as well. Now, our Ginger Allen spoke with the plant owner tonight, and he told her by phone, he said, a fire started at the plant, things blew up. We don't know what happened. We know people are hurt. He said he went over there, but they made him leave because people had to get out. Now, we do know that they have ordered an evacuation of the town, and we're told that possibly toxic ammonia fumes are coming from the plant, and the winds are sending these fumes toward the southwest, I believe, or toward the north, so that they're going into southwest Hill County. So again, they've ordered an evacuation of the entire town, and it's probably not an exaggeration to say that entire square blocks surrounding this fertilizer plant in West have been leveled. And again, we've talked about critical injuries, and right now we want to go to our chief meteorologist, Larry Mowry. Larry, what have you been told?
Karen, I've been talking to some of my meteorologist friends down there in the Waco area, and they've been getting some information too. They're hearing right now that another chemical tank is on fire around the plant, and dispatch is asking crews to pull back at this time. I'm also getting word, Karen, that fire trucks are draining the city's swimming pool right now to get extra water to fight the fires that are occurring across the entire town.
Right. When you're thinking about exactly the number of fires, and we've talked about the fact that this is not just the West Fire Department that is trying to handle this. They've had fire departments from all over, and there is a hospital there in West, but the hospital in Waco, which is 20 miles to the south, those folks there have been put on full alert. Everyone, all hands on deck. And
Karen, the strong south winds that we've seen all day today, they're still blowing at this time down there in West. We've got gusts up to about 30 miles per hour out of the southeast right now, so that's really hampering the firefight right now too.
Right, and we do want to welcome those folks who are just tuning in right now. You're looking at scenes. You can see the flames in the foreground there, and in the background the remnants of flames. There has been a fertilizer plant explosion in the town of West. This is about midway between the towns of Hillsborough and Waco. Now, this isn't a big town, but there are still they've many residents, and they have all been ordered to evacuate because of the fumes, the ammonia fumes that are believed to be coming from the plant right now, that they're very dangerous, and so they've ordered the entire town to evacuate. We understand there are multiple injuries, many of them critical. Firefighters were trying to put out a fire at the plant when there was a major explosion at about 10 minutes to 8 this evening. We understand many of the injured are firefighters. We don't know to what degree exactly how many injuries there are. We know that there is major damage to nearby buildings, houses, a nursing home. West, the intermediate school was on fire, and we've also been told that for obvious reasons, school has been closed in this town, or for the entire for the rest of the week, for tomorrow and Friday. And now Brian New, CBS 11's Brian New, is joining us now by phone. Brian, what are you seeing where you are?
Karen, we are just outside West, but this explosion could be felt as far north as South Dallas and seen miles away. This video here that was sent to us was taken from a Hillsborough car dealership. Karen, that's about 15 miles away. Pictures of the explosion have been posted on social media sites, where some of these are off Twitter. One person in South Dallas actually called to report an earthquake. We talked to another person in Hillsborough who thought something exploded next door. He just couldn't believe that this happened so far away, 10, 15 miles away. Karen, that's really the strength of the explosion that we are dealing with.
Yeah, Brian, we're looking at the picture right now, and it looks like a mushroom cloud. This looks like a major I hate to use the term nuclear explosion, but we all know what fertilizer can do. It's an incendiary material, and there's a lot of damage that can be caused by this. Let's go back to Larry Mowry.
Karen, I'm getting reports out of the Hillcrest Baptist Medical Center that the injured range from babies to elderly from the explosion. Earlier this evening, the explosion occurred around 7:50. Shortly after that, all staff and everybody who works at the hospital there at Hillcrest Baptist Medical Center in Waco, they were asked to come into work, Karen. So they called in the entire staff at the hospital in Waco, expecting many injuries to come in from the explosion.
That's right. The Red Cross has been dispatched down there, and we don't want to incite any panic or anything like that, but we have been told that this is a scene of chaos right now, and there is a triage teams have been set up on the football field at the high school there in West, which is very close to the fertilizer plant. And you can see it right there from our helicopter shot. And Jason Allen, I know you arrived on the scene not too long ago, and you said at first blush, I mean, it looked as if a tornado had roared through town. Jason. We seem to be having a little bit of...
Yeah, okay, I got you now.
All right. Yeah,
I got you, Karen. This is what we were trying to show you earlier. This is what we're told is a home, and you can see right now that it is burning pretty much to the ground. This home is destroyed, and I'm going to have Sal here look over to the left, and I'm hoping that our camera can pick this up and see maybe some of the glow from the fire. You can see some of this debris here. These are other buildings that are not on fire right now, but are very obviously destroyed by the blast. I was talking to you about the fact that we may not be able to get further down the road to the south, and here's why. You can see all the way down this road, there is debris. There's a truck here that is covered in whatever this was that got blown up and destroyed just by the force of the blast. I believe the plant just over in this direction right now. There are no fire crews that we see in the area right now, no emergency crews right here, and there are very clearly people that live all up and down these roads. There are farmhouses, small houses on both sides of the road. Even several hundred yards back in this direction, I stopped and talked to a family who was inside their house when this happened. The entire roof caved in, all their windows of their home blew in, their car destroyed, looks like it's been through a huge wreck. And I'll just point you back here again. This is one of the fires that we're seeing, and although you may not be able to see from this vantage point where we are, we can see several other fires burning further to the west, also to the south, and very heavy, extreme damage, structural damage all over here to the north and even to the east. Definitely not just a swath, but wide, expansive damage in every direction, Karen.
Right, exactly. And you mentioned not seeing any firefighters, and I imagine they're spread pretty thin based upon the number of fires and the extent of the damage. Because it's not just the fires, as you mentioned, things are crushed, roofs have been blown off. We understand that people might have been trapped inside a nursing home that was positioned very close to the fertilizer plant, and there is an evacuation underway right now. They are evacuating the town, and Larry, you mentioned hearing from some meteorologists there in Waco that possibly toxic ammonia fumes were coming from this fertilizer plant, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing right now, and with that southeast wind, that's blowing that possible ammonia off towards the northwest. So that